Welcome back to another MECH 1000 video. We are working on drawing 10.4, and it's an assembly drawing with multiple parts, and we were trying to get the cap done, the first part done in the first video, and didn't quite make it. So it looks like this part's going to take us at least 2 videos to finish. So let's get back to work on this. There we go. So we finished the top view. Now we're working on the front view of this cap. And I made the last thing I did before the last video ended was make this circle. And then I'm going to trim the bottom half of that. I'm going to trim out the bottom of that line as well to get that semicircular groove. And then we also have an arc up here that has a radius of 1.25, but I like making circles instead. To me it's easier. A circle is pretty much the same no matter what, and with arcs you've got like a million different arc options, so I just go circle. I think it's simpler. Then I just have to trim when I'm done. So we're gonna trim off that outside of that circle like that. And we don't really need that center line. Instead, we need a center mark. Like so, except that's not the correct layer. So let's switch that over to our center layer. Okay, and you know what? I'm not actually real happy about the size of that center mark, the way it's made. So I think I'm actually just going to go old school here and instead switch it up to my center line layer and just make a pair of lines. Get my snap mode turned back on. So I'll start at the center and maybe go up 2 spaces, come down 2 snaps. I might need it a little longer than that. Let's try another snap. Maybe another snap. There we go. That's finally long enough that I can see the spaces, and maybe I'll do a copy rotate. Be sure to select copy, 90 degrees. There we go. I like that better. So now that we have the center mark, the semicircle, the arc here, I just need to mirror that over to the other side. So let's mirror those features like that and trim the bottom edge of the part like so. And yeah, let's put some dimensions on here. Some radius dimensions. So we've got a radius of 0.75 and a radius. It's hard to sometimes snap onto the circles when your snap mode is turned on. So I'll turn it off in order to select the arc, turn it back on to place it so I can get those two aligned with each other. And then we still need to do the right side view. So switch back to my visible lines, and I'll make a rectangle here. That is 4 by 1.25. Okay, and there are all sorts of center lines and hidden lines going on here. So we've got the center lines of these 2 holes. Let's start with them. They're 1.5 inches apart. They're evenly spaced about the center of the cap. So I'll draw in their center lines. Let's get them located with some center lines first. The first one I'll draw is just going to literally be right in the center of the part. And then because the 2 holes are 1.5 inches apart, if I offset this one side 0.75 and then the other side 0.75, they'll end up 1.5 inches apart. So offset distance 0.75, offset it to the right, offset it to the left, then I can get rid of that. Center line shouldn't terminate on the edge of the part. Let's stretch that up 2 clicks and stretch them down 2 clicks. Then we've got the hidden lines. These holes have 33/64 or 0.515625 diameter. If I divide that by 2, I get 0.2578125. So I can offset distance 0.2578125. And offset that to the right and the left. Do the same thing over here. Offset to the right and the left. Let's do some trimming. And then switch these to the hidden layer. All right, now we have these 2 holes. They're a 1/2 inch in from the outside of edge of the part. So what I might do is I might take this one and copy it over all the way to the very edge, and then move it back 1/2 inch. And then mirror it to make the one on the other side. Oop, that's not right. Let's try that again. I must have chosen the wrong mirror plane. Yeah, I did. So let's mirror that about the midpoint. There we go. All right, so we've got our 2 sets of hidden lines, or 4 sets of hidden lines, center lines, and also got a line going from the top of that arc. Just drawing a construction line across there to locate the line. Of course, it shouldn't be a center line, it should be a hidden line. Okay, and we do have some visible lines that we should be seeing. This edge right here, this guy right here, we'll see that. So that actually aligns with the center lines here. That's why in the side view we actually don't see center lines on those holes. If you remember our precedence of lines, a visible line takes precedence over the center line. So let's switch that back over to visible. Don't want to change the color, I want to change the active layer. There we go. Okay, and I think now that's it. We've got, let's see, we can add a dimension there. This side view does have 1 dimension on it. It's a linear dimension of 1.25. All right, now I mentioned earlier that my dimensions have too many decimal places, and that is true. But I think I might actually save modifying my dimensions until the very end. I have a feeling I'm going to have to modify the scale, and while I'm modifying the scale, I'll also modify the precision level. So I'll just let it go for now. The one additional thing I can do is add some text. We've got some big text that should go below this part. It says cap. So let's make some text. Now, I always prefer to use multi-line text. I just think it's much easier to edit than single line text. So we've got cap, and I think we could make that bigger. In the textbook, this text definitely looks bigger than the text in the dimensions. Right now it's 0.2. Let's double that. Let's make it 0.4. Let's see how that looks. Yeah, it looks okay for now. I think I'll leave that. And it doesn't really matter where in the model space your drawing is, like with respect to the origin, but I tend to like to keep my drawings in the upper right quadrant above the x-axis and to the right of the y-axis, and I'll draw the layout here in model space as it appears in the final layout as well. So that basically just means I'm going to want to move this up to leave some more room for the base, which goes below it. Okay, but that does it for the cap. So I'll finish this video now, and in the next video, we'll do the base.